So this week's video is about my success and utter failure at spray painting furniture. When I first started, I thought it would be super easy. I was completely wrong. Well, I mean, it just takes a little bit more effort and kind of steps than I was really thinking. So this video will have all my mistakes as well as tips of how I ended up turning around my project, and now I'm really proud of it and I totally would spray paint furniture again. For this weekend's project, I'm going to be taking this wood blanket bench thing and spray painting it. Basically, my idea is I'm going to use it in my guest room to put blankets or quilts over, so when guests stay, they have easy access. But I'm not a fan of the brown, and so since my room is blue, I'm gonna accent it with this aqua color. I think it's, very fresh and fun, so here we go. So, not doing this before, basically two things I've already learned is one, you have to shake it really well, or sometimes it comes out a darker color than you expect. Second, you don't hold it close enough, the wind will just move it on right past. If you hold it too close, you get drips and weird lines, and so I'm going to try to even them out with a brush. Let's see. So I'm going to show you how much I'm failing right now. See the lovely streaks all the way around. I was able to semi-fix the streaking at the top of the brush. Looks like that. But that's not what it's supposed to look like. So I'm failing. Good thing, if it doesn't work, I can paint it over it. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna stop right there before I ruin the rest of it. Because it's dripping. It's bad wind, splatchy, it's awful. So since I failed miserably, I'm just gonna go to the store and buy paint. I can't. That's how bad I failed. I mean, it's not actually that bad. Here, let me show you. Second lesson of the day. Spray paint is super sticky and doesn't come off very well, and it's gonna ruin my brush, but it's okay because I tried, right? So my paint friend from Lowe's helped me find exactly what I need to fix my disaster and actually spray paint, so we're gonna give it a try. So thanks to my friends at Lowe's, I found a few things out. One, in order to get all of this spray paint off my hands and my brush, use baby oil, let it sit for a while and then wash it. So that's what I'm gonna try in a bit. Second, my biggest issue, what I did wrong, was I was trying to get the color thick instead of just kind of lightly spraying. Second, I forgot a primer. So they got me this 1-2-3 primer. It's white. So what I'm going to do is sand this down to get kind of that loose, gross, drippy stuff from my last spray paint job, and then prime it till it's white, let it sit, and then try again. This time I went with a little bit lighter color. I'm not a fan of the super turquoisey color that ended up on there, so I went with like a light gray, greenish, and in satin, so it's shiny instead of this kind of like chalky feel. I've also switched to Valspar, just because that's what she recommended. So now here we go, round two. So I've just done some sanding. See how gross and blue? Basically, she said I don't have to sand all the blue off. I just kind of have to sand it to get the extra spray paint that's kind of chunky or dripping, all that stuff off, and to make it just so it's smooth kind of all over the place. So that's what I did. So what I'm doing is taking some paper towels and going over the entire piece just to get all that extra blue spray paint dust off of it, so that way when I do the primer, there's nothing getting stuck underneath it. It's all been sanded and kind of cleaned off a little bit. It's time for the primer. So what I wasn't doing last time were long, thin, light coats. So I'm just gonna do one spray across go to the next piece and not keep going off one piece. So that's kind of where we're at now. And don't forget to shake it. The first coat is done. Looks like stripes. You can see the blue, but that's apparently what it's supposed to be like. And then I just let it dry a little bit and then go over it again and keep going over until it's pure white. Alright, so I'm almost done. I think I finished the first bottle of primer, which I don't have a second, so I'm not really 100% sure. But I'm gonna take a time out right now because my hands hurt really bad. I didn't realize how much strength you needed in your index finger on technically both hands in order to do spray painting jobs. So while this dries, to see hopefully what I do have left in my primer can cover the rest of it, I'm gonna rest my fingers. It's now all primed and it's time for the actual paint coat. So again, nice and easy, 8 inches away, one stroke and go to the next one. That's my goal. I'm almost done. I'm just gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes or so and let it fully dry, and then I'm gonna bring it inside and see how it looks. So far out here it's looking pretty good, but as you can tell it's getting dark out, and so I can't tell 100% if everything is covered. So I just kind of want to do a full check inside before I call it quits, or completely done I should say. And I'll show you kind of what it looks like in there. So I brought it in and it looks good. There are a few areas that I do need to fix, but I'm gonna show you kind of where it's at and what it's looking like. You'll see there's some pieces that I missed in there.